Well, hi. Here's what you missed so far tonight. It's 7-0 Eagles over St. Joe's Academy. Hunter Hockenberry scored at the 3:45 mark, so literally you're just missing the touchdown. And now St. Joe's takes over deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line. Doug Dyke and Steve Miller bringing you the action. We were hacked. Nice tackle on the play.
Wow.
Great defensive move. Austin Young with the tackle. This is the third possession for St. Joe's so far. They've had 3 and out, and here they are again. Eagles with the new offense under head coach Jesse Nagel. We will be talking about that as soon as Dylan gets away from Doug and we can actually talk football. Clock running, 3:06 left to go. Opening night of the season. The teams are a little rusty. So's the IT team. But thank you, Eagle Ambassadors, for providing the YouTube channel. And look who's standing here beside me. Hi, Doug Dyke. How are you?
Hello, Steven.
So I was letting people know another sweep.
Oh!
Inside. No, he was outside when they tackled him.
He's going to give him the one. He's going to give him the one.
Forward progress to the 1, which is a 2-yard loss. 3-yard loss. Third down at about 18 now. Eagle defense is playing very well tonight.
Yes, and of course, you know, they're running a lot of kids in and out. I know you and I have watched it. The fans just came live, but
if you're online, you've missed some excellent defense so far by the Eagles.
Yes, almost had an interception by freshman Gage McClanahan. The Eagles have 2 freshmen on their roster this year. Both expected to see varsity time.
3rd and 24 at the 2:06 mark of the first quarter for St. Joe's. Out of the gun. He looks. He steps. He throws. They got him. Safety. And it is now 9-0 at the 1:53 mark of the first quarter. And Doug, I'm going to ask you to try and remember the last time we had a 9-0 lead in the first quarter of a game at Bald Eagle Area High School.
It's been a while. I mean, I don't want to knock the past. I can't remember.
No, you missed the point. It's 9-0.
Yes. Oh, I know, but I mean, when's the last time we had a lead? It was probably what week did we get our win? Week 2. So it's been almost a full calendar year.
And as the game goes on tonight, we'll talk about the changes. If you're watching right now, helmets are a little different, Doug.
Yeah, they went with the Oregon Duck wing, which, you know.
Well, it's an Eagle wing.
Yeah, it's an Eagle wing. I'm sorry.
We're the Bald Eagle Area Eagles.
Yeah, sorry,
okay.
Sir. Yes.
Check your diploma when you get home.
Yes, sorry, sir.
That's all right.
It's different.
It's a new look.
It's a new look. A lot of new stuff. Jesse Nagel's our new head coach. He's brought a lot of enthusiasm. New coaches.
And you'll hear them in the background while we're trying to do the game tonight. If you could see, and maybe if you have a chance, pan over to the amount of guys they have up here in the booth. It's like an NBA basketball bench. There literally is a coach for every kid almost on the team.
Yeah,
it's not quite that bad, but there's a lot of them here, which is a good thing.
Well,
it's amazing. Yes. Another thing that's new this year, is that just the student body, or is it all the athletes down there? They're standing as one?
Well, it's a lot of the junior high kids, which is a good thing, but also they're going to trying to build up a student section like they used to have in the past with the old pep club. Remember those days?
Robinson's free kick is taken up front with
Bounces.
room outside. That's your freshman still on his feet and down inside the 20-yard line.
Yes, Gage McClanahan is having a nice debut varsity football. He looked like he was going to step out of bounds, didn't he?
He cut it back just right, and I think his momentum just shifted enough. And now's the point when you're watching this later, stop, rewind, look at it, and realize how brilliant we are, showing you what he actually did with a nice camera work by you.
Well, I hope it's nice. Dylan doesn't want me zooming in and out too much, so I'm kind of out probably wider than I want to be, but I'm trying to keep the –
I was out wider than I used to be, but I'm on a diet now.
Try zooming in a bit. Now he's sending me texts.
That's good. He can't lean over.
Not too much, but a little.
Tanner Kresovich, the quarterback, he's got Hunter Hockenberry beside him 1 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Fake. Kresovich rolls. He's got a guy in the flat. Threw it
he
behind
him. Yep.
He was too wide open.
Well, they're rolling him out to his throwing side. Remember in the past I would comment about how we always seem to roll our right-handed throwers to the left and they have to throw across their body. That throw would have been rolling out is always harder than dropping back. But there he had the momentum going towards his throw and it just got away from him.
And that was Dylan Beisel.
Beisel. Lives up Bush Hollow.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to.
No, you're learning. It's a new year.
He's a sophomore, for goodness sake.
Nice size sophomore.
Krasovich has it. Option. He's going to keep it. And he breaks away from a tackle. Inside the 10. Cuts around the side. 5.
Score.
Touchdown, Tanner Krasovich. And the Eagles are on a roll tonight. They're now up 15-0 at the 1:25 mark of the first quarter.
Well, again, I mean, the St. Joe's kids have got to be getting gassed a little bit, and Bald Eagle keeping it up tempo. I mean, it's a new thing. Even I'm sure I'm going to hear about our chain crew over there. They can't set the ball until the chain crew's set. So it's a new night for everybody.
Well, I just counted while you were. There's like 6 guys over there. Everybody else is on the field.
Hey, we do have one listener.
Really?
From Oklahoma.
Whoa-ho! It's my old recording buddy.
Yeah.
Trey Butterworth. Oh, Nelly. 16-0. 1:25 left to go.
He's at what? Oklahoma Panhandle, Northwest something?
Oklahoma Panhandle State University.
Yeah, I still like to know how he found that one. I think he typed in PSU and hit the wrong button.
Well, the bottom line is this. Southwest flies out there.
Yes.
That's the most important thing for his family.
Well, and he's 6 hours from Uncle Mick.
Well,
so
and Uncle Mick's a doctor, so that's good.
And I better not see him till Thanksgiving, because then we better see him. He might have to join you on a basketball telecast.
That would
Wouldn't
be great
that be
if he was
something?
home over the holidays. We could bring him in, and then I could teach him how defenses work.
Wow.
Really? There's just one? I was hoping for
we have one for sure, and Marsha Horton just texted me and said we weren't live, but I said, yeah, now we are, so. Oh, we got another. Oh, they are happy now, so whoever they is. We have at least 2 live.
All right.
Trey Butterworth from Oklahoma.
And when we say 2, of course.
We have 13 live, Steve.
Okay, well,
pressure's
can you imagine,
on.
They should be playing us, streaming us over the internet at the Grange Fair.
Yes. They could listen to us on the, what do they call that, the runway? No, the midway. I'm just teasing.
The midway.
I haven't been there in a couple years. Sorry.
I was there 3 hours ago.
Well, you're a dedicated Republican.
It's part of my job. So.
I'm trying to update the Score Stream app.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Don't you have somebody else to do that? Don't you have interns or something?
Well, I have one intern. The other one's at the Grange Fair.
Oh.
He'll be with us in 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Trey says, wow, feeling the love. I'm in. I want to be back. You'll be back for basketball, Trey.
Zach DeCarmine with the return ball at the 25-yard line. That's where St. Joe's will take over. The Wolves. Interesting name choice. You'd have thought they'd have gone with more like Gators based on their color scheme.
Yeah, what are they called?
The Wolves. It says right here. You gave me the sheet.
I didn't even look at it that close. I'm still learning.
Interesting stories today in the paper of record here in Center County. Nice write-up about Jesse Nagel and the new team concept of Bald Eagle. Talked about the kids, what to expect. Then you see the St. Joe's write-up, and it's all about the coaches.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big part of their program right now, trying to generate interest, bringing in Coach Gutoff and Coach Franco, especially Coach Franco, nothing against.
Interesting dynamic, though, that Coach Gutoff was an assistant under Coach Franco. Now Coach Franco, more in an advisory role, whereas Gutoff's the head coach.
Well, Coach Gutoff still works at State High. Coach Franco's still at Altoona, so I think that's part of when I say the logistics of, getting there each night, or you know what I mean. Like I don't know that to be factual. 100%.
Hand off into the stack. One change I've noticed already from last year to this year, the penetration of the defensive line. They're coming from the edge and then right up the middle.
Jersey Shores leads Bellefonte 13-0. This score stream, that's why I was looking up. You can actually, Hollidaysburg Central still 7-0. Du Bois is over Clearfield. So if people update the scores, you get them.
Clock is winding down here. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no,
Doug,
that's okay.
but it'll be many times throughout the night
Yes.
that I'm going to do that because that's what I do. End of the first quarter, 16 for the Eagles, nothing for St. Joe's Academy.
Tyler Carlin listening in, sorry.
I thought he'd be watching the Red Sox game.
Well, he can multitask.
Well, he did go here.
Now,
Great first quarter.
yes.
I mean, you didn't see it all. We did. But it was a great first quarter and a great way for the new era, the Nagel era, to begin for these Eagles on both sides of the ball.
Right.
Offense and defense. Great job.
A lot of positive plays on offense, negative yardage for St. Joe's. As a matter of fact, we'll try to get stats at halftime. But have they had a positive yard play yet? I don't
know if they have. It's 3rd and 8, so they had one.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
At least one. Nice crowd, by the way, tonight on the home side.
And surprising,
especially
a little
with
bit.
Grange Fair and school not starting.
Right.
And we have downtime. How do you try and coordinate all this without normal school buses getting everybody here?
Well, during the week,
yeah,
we still run buses for the kids, except for today.
Is it all-day practice then, or how does that work out?
No, they've been practicing mostly after school. The first week they went 3 to 8:30, and then the past 2 weeks have been like a school week. You know, it was so crazy this year with the Little Bridge being out in Julianne that Superintendent Miles and Command Sergeant Major Jones and even myself were running a van up over Julianne Pike, down to Unionville, up over Unionville Mountain, and bringing the kids to and from. So
you could have just waited for the red light.
What red light?
You mean in Julianne itself?
Yeah, because technically you're not allowed to cross the railroad tracks.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of the gun on 3rd down. High snap. Handoff. No, he's going to keep it.
He's got room.
30.
Lots of room.
35. We jinxed him.
Yep.
He'll be taken down at the 48-yard line. Tackled on the play. Who's that getting up out of the stack? That's Riley Bechtel. Follow him the whole way down the field. Defensive end. Riley got a nice write-up today in the paper as well. Nice mention from
Coach Nagel.
Coach Nagel.
Well, that was a nice play by their quarterback. I apologize for not knowing his name, but
it's okay.
Everybody
went
with.
Check that. He's it's Brendan Robinson.
Everybody went with the running back. I mean, linebackers. I mean, Bechtel was the only one that saw the play, but he saw it after the running back went by.
He had to trail it to make that tackle, but first down and the ball sitting right on the midfield line. You can't get – if you move that ball 6 inches, it'll be in the halfway part of the field.
Yep.
3 receivers to the far side for St. Joe's. He turns. He hands it off. No gain.
I don't think they're going to get much yardage between the tackles. They're going to have to go outside.
They really need to work it outside and start spreading things out.
Did you mention – I know when we were talking off the air because our former producer,
we had nothing to do.
Current advisor, and
we talked a lot
new
before
producer.
We were on the air because we had nothing to talk about.
Let's just say they've got a lot of work to come. But St. Joe's doesn't have a senior on the roster, and they only have is it 17 or 16?
There's 17 kids dressed tonight. There's a couple over there in shorts and their jerseys, so they're hurting.
So you got to give these kids credit for just being out here.
And let's face it, this school isn't that new, and they made it a point to, when they brought people in, timeout, their second of the half at 10:39 left to go. This isn't an old school. There's not a lot of tradition
What
here.
is this, like year 5?
I think this might be, it's either 4 or 5, but, they started in like 9th grade or something like that. So that way they didn't have a graduating class right away.
Right.
So they're growing slowly and surely, and, it is a private school, and I'm sure they will grow as time continues on.
Paul Urbanik is watching in. We better give him a shout out because his mom and dad are, big supporters of the Eagle Ambassadors,
just big,
huge.
Supporters. I was going to say that.
Huge.
Karen's like it.
She's Yeah. Penns Valley up 6-0 over Marion Catholic in the second quarter.
All right, where's
Marion
that school? Where's that at?
That's about an hour and a half northeast from Penns Valley. I think it's District 3? District 3.
Wow.
But they're returning state playoff contender from last year.
What were they doing picking that game up?
Well, we beat them to St. Joe's.
Well,
so
I think Penns Valley and St. Joe's play later in the year. I saw the WBLF broadcast schedule earlier.
Yeah, do they?
I think they do.
I don't know if anybody's updating score stream on that game. No, they're not. But
out of the gun, quarterback Brendan Robinson. He'll go to his right. He steps. He looks. Going
he's
deep.
Got somebody. No, if he throws it in, if he throws it inside, he might have something.
Well,
who's the safety there? Is that Dubsy? We've got some tall, lanky kids. They all kind of look the same. Who's the kid holding the football? Is that Dubsy?
No, Dubs is 34.
Who is that?
Blake Roberts
is that?
That's 39.
Oh, that's Blake Roberts. Okay. Blake, I think he went more to his right to start out. The kid maybe cuts it towards the middle of the field.
Well, I think he broke off the angle and the throw was outside. If he'd have thrown it, made it more of a regular post.
And Blake's only a sophomore, right, Dale? Yeah, so, I mean, again, another young person out in the field.
Two receivers each way. Straight back,
Hockenberry.
running for his life. Hockenberry's going to take him down first. Huge loss.
That's a 20-yard loss. Of course, okay, idiot me not moving the camera. It's hard to broadcast. All right, pay attention, Dougie.
Dale, jump in here any chance you want to get.
I didn't hear what you were saying.
No, I said it's hard to broadcast in camera. I'm like, 20-yard loss in the play. Too bad the fans only saw 10 yards of it.
Just
because
tap them out.
Yeah. Yikes.
Okay, we're not lying. Dyke didn't turn the camera on. That's why we weren't on the
air.
Oh,
come on. The Russians hacked us. You tweeted it. The Russians hacked us.
And everything that's on Twitter is real. So 4th and 27 for St. Joe's.
Now, hey, it's Cha-Cha's first night as director, and he's yelling at me already.
Good.
Gee whiz.
Somebody should.
I'm telling you. Well,
by the way, warn him that he shouldn't yell at me.
Yeah, don't yell at the big guy. Hey,
high snap. Punts away. Taken at the 40. Oh, fumble.
Forgot
Get on
something.
the ball.
Get on it.
Henry muffed it up. Still on his feet, though. Still fighting, and got it 2 yards back on the muff. He picked it up at the 40, but he took it off the side of his shoulder. Took off running before he had hit a little bit of a lane, tried to step it up and go.
It's hard to see, so tell me, was it one of those things like he looked away from the ball before he had it?
It looked like, and I don't know who's eating the French fries down below us, but man, are they good.
I was just thinking the same thing.
He went to step, and he turned, and it went off of his shoulder pad.
Well, you mentioned Jesse, the new coach, some new coaches, Colby Way, former State High grad, University of Buffalo. He was on the Cleveland Gladiators Arena Football League
Let's
team.
not talk about the Gladiators, shall we?
And you have, what's Mazzola? I know him as Muss. I can't think of him as Mazzola.
Matt
Mazzola.
No, he's Muzz.
Muss,
He'll always be Muzz.
I think he's calling the offensive plays. You have Roger Proctor helping out on the line. Who else is on the sideline? Ben Leskabansky.
There are 19 coaches there on the sidelines and 13 up here.
Yeah, well, and the junior high staff led by Coach Wetzler, John Wetzler, we finally have him back in navy blue and gold, and Coach Long are the gray-haired members of the coaching staff.
Kresovich with the ball. Looks, rolls, picks it up.
Stay in bounds.
Oh, nice sidestep. First down.
Nice run.
Nice move. That was one of those moves where had he got hit, his mother would have been nervous.
Yes.
And after last year, Tanner took a bunch of those hits.
Yes, and that kid kind of had the angle on him, and I thought he was going to get lit up.
Are we going to talk about volleyball at halftime?
Well, of course.
We'll turn around.
Is Campbell?
Is that why he's here?
He's here, baby. I told him he might have.
Sporting old school Phillies.
Yeah, well.
That's the uniform they should have all the time.
It is the cherry red. We can talk volleyball. 97-5, the Fanatics suspending 3 of their guys. I know you don't follow
pass.
that. Nice throw by Kresovich.
Close to another first down. Inside shoulder, nice pass. And now we're seeing, let's go, up tempo, up tempo, up tempo. We're wasting time here. You got a team that's understaffed, back on their heels, and they're tired.
Yes.
I mean, they burnt 2 timeouts, I think, just for guys to get a breath.
Well, that's going to be the key for Coach Gutoff and Coach Franco is using those timeouts smartly. Is that a right word, smartly?
Yeah, smartly.
Smartly, yeah.
Whatever. Got him. He's open. Big bomb. Can he get in the end zone?
Who's 7? Who's 7? Oh, man,
That's
I'm
Cale
terrible.
Gardner.
I'm
Is that the side of my
at this.
head?
No, I
Okay,
didn't get the
good.
side of your head, but I missed Gardner catching the ball because I was too busy watching it with my own eyes instead of the camera. That's why we need
pass.
a camera guy.
Nice pass from Tanner Kresovich.
And he not to be he underthrew him, but he was so wide open he had
was so
time
wide
to
open,
catch the
he
ball.
beat the coverage down the field. In fact, had Gardner kept running, he wouldn't have been able to throw the ball to him.
Right. But
And I think the problem was, I don't think he was designed to get the ball. I think he was so wide open, he had to get them the ball.
well, it's weird. I don't know if did he do a stop and go or something because
I just saw
there should be some
it
laundry
develop
laying
in
on
there.
the field with that move. I mean, holy smokes.
kick is up.
Who is the kicker?
And it is.
Is that Aguayo from the
good.
Buccaneers? Have you seen him kicking yet?
No, it's Eli Myers.
Oh, okay. Have you seen that, though? They used
No.
a second-round pick on him, and he's like 3 for 6 in the preseason.
No, I have a life.
Yeah,
So
hey, does anybody know what happened to Romo last night?
Yeah.
He got-
Another long year.
He got hurt already. I think Dak Prescott's the man.
You know what? Here's the key to the Cowboys' success. Keep Ezekiel Elliott out of certain shops in Colorado. Keep Dak
You mean,
Prescott.
Is he a Le'Veon Bell in training?
He may have been caught looking for scripts when he was in L.A. That's the rumor.
Oh.
Jerry came through again.
Well, that man didn't make $1 billion, just being honest.
Look, he's making money now just by having events there because Lord knows we'll never host a Super Bowl there ever again.
Look at the
Or go
freaking
to
facility he just opened.
Yes, the Star.
Well, sorry, we didn't kick off yet. Gee whiz.
What would you? Wow. Wow.
You're going to like him, aren't you?
I think there's a chance he might be going out over the top of this place before the year's out. We might reverse do this. Cha-cha, it might be a cha-cha toss, so that T-shirt toss that just happened down there.
We could hook these in tandem. You wouldn't even have.
So,
Oh,
Doug,
Yes,
while
sir.
we're killing time and you're getting yelled at because you cannot do two things, actually you're trying to do 3 things at once, put your phone away and we'll have a better video here. Give it to Campbell, for God's sake. What level is Bald Eagle in sports this year?
well, that depends on what sport you're in. Volleyball, we're still double A, even though it's now 4 classifications. Football, we're triple A, and there's 6.
That's a live ball.
Now, we're talking boys sports right now, except for the
Okay.
volleyball.
That's DeCarmine. Turn, spins direction. Nice stop on the
nice
play.
coverage. Let me zoom in so we
Good
can
work.
made the tackle. Well, all right, so basketball's quad A, 4 out of 6. Go figure that one. So I'll be honest with you. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I don't even know off the top of my head all of them.
And let me ask you this. Is this so that there's more opportunities for the PIAA to make more money because there are more playoff games now? Just say,
Yeah,
just
more-
nod your head and
yeah,
I'll go.
more-
It looks to me
more-
as
here's the-
non-athletic director of the school thinks there might be a reason the PIAA is doing this.
Well, there's more
for
chances
more
for kids to
money.
be champions.
Yes. Well, everybody should get a trophy.
You know, but it
And
creates
a hug.
It creates a logistical nightmare. You know, girls softball now they got to go to 2 days at Penn State's Beard Field. It's not cheap to rent.
Well, let's see. How does that work out? Nice handoff
Nice
right
run
up the
by-
middle. About 7 yards.
Who was that young man? Number 3?
No.
Turner? Did he say? Have a Turner?
I'm waiting to see him get back up off the pile. Was it Charlesine? 23?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's think about this. In my old job, with the hotel biz, that's
Old job.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's 3 nights. If you're staying for playoffs, that's 3 nights of hotels, front and back end, which benefits State College.
Right.
Not to mention Hershey, how they're going to be helped with the
Did
stuff.
you see what they're doing? They're playing 1 game Thursday, and then 3 Friday and 3 Saturday.
Stormer was the running back there, 34.
And basketball is going to be 3 days of 4 games? Is that right?
Peace, love, and hope.
Well,
At the
6.
Giants
You have
Center.
12 games, so 3 days of 4 games. Yes.
There's already a referee shortage. What are they doing?
Oh, tell me. I'll tell you. No. Sorry, I don't mean to. That is going to be really serious because sports like soccer, Wrestling, the average age, I was told by an official, they told them at their convention this year of an official in the PIAA is 57 years of age.
So I still got time.
And this crew out here, a lot of them are retiring after this year. Some people would say they're a couple years late, but
no, not tonight.
No.
No, they've been pretty good so far tonight.
Yeah. And there's
fourth down for St. Joe's.
Some great guys out there,
go.
but a lot of them are getting ready to get out. Gene Parker is the gentleman. Where is old mean Gene? He's on the line, I think, far over there by the fourth down marker. He's probably been refereeing almost 50 years. And a great guy.
50 years of refereeing. That's 50 years of taking crap from parents.
Oh, and he does football, basketball.
Oh, if he does basketball, enough said.
Yeah.
Maybe
well, he's taking it from both of us.
Maybe he had it coming.
Yeah, he's taking it from both of us.
Punt formation for St. Joe's. Off the edge.
How did he not get that?
I think he pulled up.
Uh-oh. Nope.
Still on his feet. 31-yard line is where the Eagles will take over the ball.
Did you fire Cha-Cha already? Where'd he go?
I think he was worried I was really going to throw him out.
He's drinking already? It's not even halftime of his first game. You didn't drink your first beer until the second half. Jeez. Oh, sorry, we're live, aren't we?
That was sarcasm.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No alcohol drinking. Sorry.
I'd like to point out that was Doug Dyke's voice, not Steve Miller.
I'm joking, folks.
Of course we are.
We're having fun.
Well, we are having fun because the Eagles are up 22-0 with 5:35 left to go in the first half. Eagles got to go on the road next week.
To Phillipsburg. If I can say this, I think you're asking. The schedule sets up nicely. They have 3 winnable games to start the year, 2 at home, 1 on the road. You build that momentum. I mean, it's week 1. I don't want to look ahead, so I'm just saying there's games.
Let's just get through this game.
Yes, but as a prognosticator, they're winnable games. I'm not saying they're
handoff off the middle. Hunter Hockenberry tried to strip the ball, still at his feet, and will be brought down inside the 25-yard line. Well, it'll be an interesting dynamic next week for the Eagles. School starts Monday.
Right.
Normal life starts again for these kids Monday. Practice starts at the regular times after school.
Right.
Then you leave the turf confines of Bald Eagle and you go up and you play on real dirt up at
Yes,
Phillipsburg.
because they have a turf field now, but it's at the school. Eventually they'd like to move their stadium up to the school. So they have a turf field, but they do not play varsity football on it.
Nice move inside by Hockenberry. Still at his feet. He's going to score.
Fans, that was a touchdown. And Steve Miller, he's got some white hair, I think.
First of all, it's a bald spot. Second of all.
No, we just got the side.
Okay, good. Thank God for that. That's why you never see him on camera. I'm in a really crappy angle. There you go.
The building. Well, I hit his head. I didn't know what to do.
I may have don't tell Devo I may have a concussion.
Yeah, you're going to be on the protocol for 2 weeks now.
28 zip. Eagles out in front.
Is this Myers again?
Snap is up.
Oh, my goodness.
So 4:46 left to go.
Hey, did you want to hear a good story? Not a good story, but
28-0. Eagles out in front of St. Joe's. Go ahead.
We've had some work done on the cross-country trail. They made it wider and everything. And
you want me to do that? I'll do it. He's talking with his hands.
Last
so
week, no, they don't want it because it has the thing across the bottom now. We're high tech.
I wanted to show the band down there assembling, getting ready.
I'm sorry.
They'll
Where's
be out
the
to
band?
entertain. They're underneath the scoreboard,
using the
Doug.
facilities.
Hence the reason I turned it.
Oh, I thought you were showing the score.
Woo!
But anyway, there was a rattlesnake off the cross-country trail this week.
Nice.
That sends a little bit of, but,
Run
they're
faster.
protected. Yes, that's just it. So we have a nice cross-country team, and we might be setting some records this year because now when they start up over the hill behind Wingate, they got to look out for the
Little
old
inspiration.
reptiles. Yeah.
That's an amphibian, actually. A
they're
snake's an
reptiles.
amphibian. No.
Amphibian means they go in the water.
In the water and on the ground.
Okay.
It's an amphibian. Reptiles all in the water.
Sorry.
It's okay. Where did you go to college?
Lock Haven, but I only had to take one science class.
And clearly it wasn't biology.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. God bless your parents. 4:46 left to go in the first half. You know, we're back on our game already this year.
Yes, we are. I'll tell you what, I'm not kidding. I still have coaches say they love listening to our banter.
Well,
I'm like, it's pretty
most
one-sided.
people do.
Yeah.
Short kick.
But we do
20, 25, 30, and great field position for St. Joe's to start.
But we do have a new assistant, but he's been sent to the concessions down right. Cha-Cha Chincharik. What's his real name? Toby.
Toby.
Toby Chincharik, and then Shane Lambert's going to be helping us out. But the Grange Fair was more important tonight for Shane.
Well,
so he's a nice kid, but
I'm
you know, if you're not going to be here, you're going to take the abuse.
I'm just saying that this is one of the nicest nights. Now that we got that fan up here, this is one of the nicest nights we're ever going to have in this.
And you were making fun of him.
I was.
Yeah.
Bring all that water up here. You're going to have to bring something else soon.
Who do
too.
we owe for that, or did you? There you go, football team. Thanks, football
nice
team.
First move. Back to the line of scrimmage and maybe 2 yards for Jared Shermer.
What's that? Check my phone. Okay. Make sure you tell the football coaches they can have some too. Since it's from them.
If I'm on a diet, so if they could bring back some watermelon, maybe some grapes.
Who scored first for us?
Hunter Hockenberry. It's a 3:45 mark.
Oh, hey.
First quarter.
We got a comment on YouTube from Terry Kenny. She's the principal at Port Matilda.
Yes.
Big Eagle supporter. She graduated, I think, with Bill Butterworth.
No, that means you graduate with me.
Oh, was she one of your classmates?
I don't remember her. What's her
Terry Kenny.
What's her maiden name? No.
Oh, 79. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
79.
Oh, she graduated with Mr. Miles. She's that old? Holy smoke! No, I'm just kidding, Terry. Just kidding.
Wow.
12-7 Bellwood over Jersey, 12-7 Bellwood over Tyrone in the battle. What do they call that?
The Annis are beating the Eagles.
Yes, and then 27-0 Jersey Shore over Bellefonte.
Woo.
Yeah, that's a tough opener.
What, Jersey Shore?
Yes, Tom's got another nice. I think he
stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a huge loss. Actually, fell forward to only lose one, but fourth down. Eagles will get the ball back one more time with this up-tempo.
What's our score?
Offense. It's 28-0, Doug. It's right there and it's in your camera.
Well, first of all, it's not in my camera. I'm not allowed to look at the scoreboard. And they
I
hadn't
can.
updated it on Score Stream, but now
okay.
It's 28-0. Did they just take their third and final timeout?
No, we got injury on the field.
Oh, sorry. Everybody down on a knee.
Well, they are. They're coming off for a
Okay,
chat.
now, this is not to belittle the kid that's hurt on the field. But since when do you take a knee on a Little League field when a kid's injured? Like,
I saw that a lot.
The football, I kind of take the knee. That's where it started, if I'm not mistaken. But now in Little League Baseball, they're taking a knee.
Yes, I watched that a lot this year when I was that was Colton Young, sophomore offensive lineman for St. Joe's, who was injured. And it's not like they're deep.
No, did he walk off on his own?
He did
power?
walk off on his own. Got a nice hand from all of the Eagles. And a nice crowd for St. Joe's as well across the side. And they represent well in their orange and royal colors.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't expect 50 fans to show up for them tonight. They have a nice turnout.
Colin Ray is at the Grange Fair this evening.
Well, that would keep some people away.
He's going to be in that Little Red Rodeo later tonight. Actually, in about 10 minutes.
Is that a song?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's a song of his. Yeah. Well, no, he's in a Little Red Rodeo because he's an amphibian dog.
Oh, okay.
That might be our sign off the rest of the year. Amphibian.
Hey, so is that like the Bill O'Reilly word of the day?
You know, Dyke. Thing is, you see, there's a penalty on the play, and against the Eagles because they moved the ball up, so they'll kick it again.
I got it back. I got it pretty wide right now because of the punt.
Well, you should.
I'm just trying to be professional here.
Yeah. Okay. Fair catch called for and taken, and the Eagles will start at their 37-yard line.
Well, Is there no Little League games tonight? Larry would know this. No Little League games tonight, right? Yeah, tomorrow's the U.S. and international finals.
That would be in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
At Lomity Stadium.
And the State College Spikes could,
Last night, Cowboy Monkey Rodeo, or the other night.
Yes, and I got a picture of my son holding a monkey.
Did you see the deer or whatever it was that got loose on that field?
No.
Oh, it was on SportsCenter. Like SportsCenter tweeted out, they were chasing this this critter that was on the field, and
at the Spikes game.
At the Spikes game, and apparently Eckley tried to round it up. And Derek Eckley, and of course he got away from it.
He got plowed, didn't he?
Well, no.
That's the hardest I think he worked all year, because I've heard. No, I'm just kidding.
His hat looked good.
Did it?
Yeah, Trey Butterworth retweeted it. So, and he's one of our faithful. Screen outside, got the corner, got the edge. We'll roll forward to about the 42-yard line.
Who was that?
On first down.
Who was that?
Now, at this time of night, is when the issue begins, because he's holding his hands tight.
I think it's Yeah, it's McClanahan, 22.
All right. 2:30 left to go. They gave him 5 on that. 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. They'd be great if they put one more on the board before halftime.
How much time's on the clock? I can't see.
2:22.
Okay. We have 3 timeouts left, right?
We do. Out of the gun. Pitch outside. Can he get the corner? He's
does. Got it.
Steps
He
outside.
cut
That's
inside.
an Andrew Dubb sighting. 40, 35, still on his feet. Swarmed under.
That was a nice run
At
by
about the
Dubbs.
33-yard line. Dubbs took the pitch and went for a nice gainer. Longest run of the night for anybody on the Eagles. It's always great when we have an Andrew Dubbs sighting.
That wouldn't be because his mom's on the basketball booster
Well,
club board.
no,
with you, would it be?
it's because his grandfather, Jim Eckert, former boss of mine, former supervisor. Of
Yes.
mine. And, it's just fun.
Former Clinton County Commissioner, right?
No, he was the
I thought he was.
administrator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was actually, okay.
Kresovich steps, throws, going deep. Got a man. Got it!
Oh,
Oh, yeah! Oh!
Oh, man.
Nice throw, nice catch.
Did he catch it?
He did. Touchdown.
Oh, I thought you said he dropped it.
This
is like working with Michael Kay.
Up and down.
You don't know what the heck's going on.
Well,
don't call me Susan, though, or I'm out of here.
If I could lean out here and see. We're cordless. We can move around a little bit more. We're hardwired now.
What'd you say?
Yeah, okay. Put the boy back in his crate. So it's 34
Sorry.
zip. Eagles out in front. 1:51 left to go. And Myers to kick.
Let's see if Myers can get it over the.
See if he gets a decent snap and a decent hold.
I'm just making.
It's down. It's up. It's through.
It good?
Is wide.
Okay.
Wide to the right. That's okay.
So that makes it 34. So we're not in
to
the
nothing.
Well, it's second half anyway, so you can't start the clock till the second half.
Well, we still have 1:51 left to go here.
What did I do? I just moved it because every time I don't move it, Dale moves it for me to where they're going to line up for the kickoff. Jeez, I can't win with you, Pete.
So what we're saying here, you're the issue.
I'm the issue. Well, I'll tell you what, you try to broadcast and do the camera.
Well,
I'll tell you what, second half, Larry can broadcast, and I'll do the camera.
I'll tell you what, Larry can start now. We got 150 left
No,
to go. Larry
you
can jump in.
He can have the second half. I'm done.
Are we going to turn the lights on here sometime tonight?
We can.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, hold on. Now I got to go over and turn the lights on.
No. I would think you should send somebody else.
Actually, Chacha, right there. Can you reach over and get that button?
We're not kicking off yet, so we got time.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
And the Lord says, let there be light.
Where? What did you have a Red Bull before we started tonight?
From Orlando. Who's Orlando?
Orlando. Well,
Oh, Rick Ennis.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Orlando Jones.
No, I haven't seen Rick in a while. I think he moved away. Is that what he meant? Oh,
Big run.
that's where my in-laws live. Near Orlando.
That's what he meant by Orlando.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I
To
can
the
I can only hear
38-yard
bits
line.
and pieces. It's like being at home. You only listen to bits and pieces. She's here working. She isn't gonna hear any of this.
She won't go back and listen.
Yeah.
She'd get the house. I'm just saying. 1:42 left. That's where St. Joe's will take over.
Twitter and all that. She'll know before she gets out.
No. Our tweet was hacked by the Russians.
Yes.
Read it.
Putin's after us.
At Boompa812, if you're wondering.
Boompa is German, correct?
It's a variation of German. Yes.
Okay.
That's what my granddaughter's called.
Yes. Who's getting big? How old is she now?
Well,
like
there's 3, Doug. There's 3.
There's 3.
High snap. And what was great field position on a bad snap will take St. Joe's back inside the 20-yard line. Yes, I have 3 granddaughters.
Well, you had 2.
There's Kayla, Olivia, and Bridget.
Now is Bridget the second?
Kayla
Because you had
and Bridget are Steve's girls, and Olivia is Stevie's. And I have 3.
Okay, no, I'm not. So okay.
Yes.
They still have the one together.
They're 10, 10, and 9.
Okay.
2 plus 1 equals 3.
Yeah,
That's
but
how it works.
he brought 2.
He
she
brought 2.
1.
She brought 1.
Okay,
That's 2
I didn't
plus
know.
1 equals 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and what else would you like to hear about my life?
Is that the
on
new
internet?
math or the old math?
Well, I'm old.
Well, but trust me.
I looked at my hair, and
so did
my bald
everybody
spot's
else on that
bigger.
one touchdown.
Yeah, thanks. If we had air conditioning in the new
Supposedly
press
it's 2
box.
years away, Steven.
Long pass.
Oh,
Did he
that's
complete it?
Yes, he did.
He did. Got it down and almost close to the first down. Well, it is close to the first down. It might actually be the first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a great catch by the St. Joe's young
Zach
man.
DeCarmine
Yes, and
went up and got that.
I hate to say it, terrible defense. He was right there. How did our guy not knock it down?
I think he misplayed his jump.
Oh, he did something. And again, that was an interceptable pass that the St. Joe's young man didn't give up on.
40 seconds left. The clock stops because it's a first down.
Right. And they set the chains, and then the referee will signal to the umpire to step away, and off we go. I like their uniforms.
They're grown on there, aren't they? Here comes a blitz. Oh, he's
Uh-oh.
taken out. There's a ball intercepted. That's what the tip drill is all about. Keep it. Watch out.
Watch behind you.
That's the
Dubsy?
corner.
Is that Dubsy?
Number 40.
Who's 40? I apologize.
That's Luke Haller.
Luke Haller. Nice catch by Luke Haller.
Off the tip drill.
I was gonna say
and we got an injured player. Oh, is this a cramp maybe?
Probably is a cramp. Yes,
They're to check him out. He's limping like that might be a cramp. And it's cooled off nicely for us here in the booth, but let's face it, that turf is still holding heat.
Oh yeah. It's probably still 80 or so definitely on that turf, if not 90. I tell you, the band was out there for 2 hours today.
In their uniforms?
No, not in their uniforms,
Okay.
but I mean, it was brutal.
I was going to say that dry cleaning bill is going to be huge.
Oh, just wearing it for their show tonight. I mean, whew.
I mean, let's be honest. If we didn't have that fan up here, come on.
Yes.
We'd be a smelly bunch of guys up here. 19 seconds left to go in the first half. It has been, outside of 2 nice plays, a long run and a long pass for St. Joe's, it's been all Eagles so far. And it looks like they're not going to take a knee. 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field, 1 to the near side, which is the short side. Flanker screen. Got out on the edge. Now he has to move. He's got the first down and more. Inside the 20 and ridden out of bounds at about the 18-yard line with what could have been a horse collar.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
A lot of grabbing on the back of the jerseys there.
Now in the NFL, it definitely would have been, because now if you're anywhere around
8 seconds left to go, and because of where we are in the field, I will move.
So it's 8 seconds to go, you said?
8 seconds left to go.
Oh,
I will move so that now I can see the field, and all of you will not see my bald spot or the reason I'll call Bosley hair transplant later this evening. Well, Joey Fatwin did that from NSYNC. Oh, it's Fatone. That's right. Kresovich steps, looks, steps up. He's going to run. He's got to get in the end zone if he's going to score.
He's going to. Oops. And he went to the one spot I can't get on the camera.
He did get in at the end of the half. Tanner Kresovich on the keeper. And we still have to kick the extra point, and it is 40-0.
Right. Now it's time to, second half, probably get some younger kids in the game. They don't have a JV game this week, and we might have lost. Well, we did lose our originally scheduled JV game for Labor Day because Phillipsburg Osceola doesn't have enough kids. So Jesse and
what?
they don't have enough kids for a JV team.
Phillipsburg doesn't have enough kids?
They haven't.
Wow. That's something we should talk about when we get back, the incredible little shrinking districts around here with kids.
Oh, yeah. And we have good numbers and everything for us. Ooh.
Not good.
Just a bit outside.
So, the half comes to a close. Eagles put 40 on the board. You're going to have somebody look it up the last time the Eagles put 40 on the board. Maybe we'll have that answer when we get back from halftime.
Hey, before I forget, too.
And before we get off for halftime.
Yeah, if I can mention about few past.
You can.
There's a new history of BEA football on Amazon by the guy from Bellefonte, Harry Breon.
Breon.
You can order it on Amazon. Yes.
Maybe
history of BEA football.
Maybe use the Mike O'Mara Show portal, TMOS, in your code, and they get a little credit for it. It's a podcast I listen to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you put in?
TMOS at checkout. So
Okay.
much for that plug for Amazon and for the Mike O'Mara Show. We'll be back with the second half. Eagles up large, 40-0 at the end of the first half. Thank you, Eagle Ambassadors, for providing the YouTube channel. through your sneakers. Jesus. How did your kid have 13s when he was 8 years old?
He didn't have 13 when he was 8 years old.
Okay, 9.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm thinking he's getting baptized this weekend with those State College Spikes guys. They took him on a road trip, so they.
Do you want me to get a hold of Walker and see if he'll mess with him?
Yeah, so I heard that Walker and him like having a good time.
No, not Scott. No, not Scott Walker. We're back. Halftime comes to a close as the Eagles come out with a lead of 40-0. They get to a 3-minute warm-up period here. So we're joined now by – how many jobs do you actually have here?
I only have one.
One, which is what?
When you tell me that, I'll know what it is.
Okay, well, right now
let's see.
you're going to fill Dyke's shoes, and we just found out he has size 8s.
So it shouldn't be too hard.
Hey, ladies, he wears size 8s. Yeah, I think that was brought up in a presidential debate earlier. Was that hands? Yeah, whatever. So, Larry, what are you seeing this year with your sport, which is, of course, volleyball?
We're gonna be a tough out this year. Last year we went undefeated in the league. We finished up 16-3, and we lost a kid who was a serving specialist and a kid who was a deep backup middle. So we returned everybody. To top that off, our JV team was undefeated in the league and was 15-2 overall. So to have those kids moving up, and we have a freshman class where those kids finished the year 13-1, and we have some big athletic kids who are in that class. So figuring out lineups right now has been kind of difficult because a good thing, there's a lot of talent in the gym. Some of the head-to-head scrimmages that we've had has been much more intense than I expected.
Replacing the people that you have to replace, do you look for specific fits in those areas, or do you look for who the best athlete is who can do a number of things?
That's a fair question. Depends on what position we're talking about. I'll tell you, like our outside hitter is usually a bailout kid who scores most of your points. And, we have a freshman kid who really does a lot of stuff. She hits the ball hard. She passes the ball well. And we have a kid who's coming as a junior who's probably one of our best top 3 ball handlers. But offensively, she hasn't been great yet. And then we returned 2 seniors, one who are first and second team all-district kids. So, when you got that kind of depth, we're kind of looking at for that position, we want kids to be able to deal with a lot of out-of-system stuff where the ball isn't exactly where you want, and you want to try and figure it out. Other positions, it's more balls in system and everybody's in the right position, so it's a lot easier. But with that one, it's more about athleticism and good decision making.
With the success that Penn State has year in, year out, and the enthusiasm that they generate with the stands, does that trickle down to the high school level as well? Are you starting to see more of an intensity with the fans coming to watch it?
Not as much as you think. You'd be surprised how many kids don't go and see it. I'd say on my team, I'd probably have maybe half dozen is growing, maybe about a dozen kids who go to the games, just because of the state of our sport. And for some measure, there's a lot of guys that come out to watch us.
Right.
They appreciate coming out and watching the ladies play. But, the growth of the sport in the school has really been nice to see. I think last year we hosted Penn Cambria in a very bad loss in the district semifinals. But I think our fans got a chance to see what being a true fan of volleyball and when to make noise and how to be loud and how to be a good fan. I'm hoping that trickles down because the atmosphere in the gym was outstanding.
Is there an opportunity, and I guess you'd have to talk to the athletic director. You'll have to do this yourself then, really. To generate more enthusiasm on those things, is there a way to do a match up at, say, Rec Hall prior to another volleyball match, take it on a road and maybe play Huntington or, Bellefonte or somebody up there and generate that? Well, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out that as an idea.
That's a nice idea. I mean, the lack of overall numbers would be a concern. I mean, when you think about it, we pull out half the gym as opposed to basketball, and I'd say our numbers are less than what basketball does. But I think it'd be a good experience for the kids. I think having the right opponent would be, so it's a good match. I think the concern is maybe you have a game or a match like that where it's not really competitive, so you kind of lose a lot out of it.
Maybe more. Who else is strong in District 6, say further west?
I'd love to bring Penn Cambrian. We play them in the playoffs every year.
St. Francis might be the spot to play that one then. Just an idea, just a thought. Just throwing it out there. I'm trying to help you do your job, Doug. I'm trying to generate more enthusiasm. What's the junior high program like for you?
You know, it's really been a big boom. This is the first, as the kickoff here takes place. It's the first year we're actually getting kids from it. This is year 3 for the junior high program. So having kids come through ready to play as freshmen is such a huge boost that you're going to see in the next 3 years. We should make another jump. You know, we've been that team that's been district semifinals, you know, Final Four team in the district and can't really make that jump. But all the teams we play on the other side of the mountain have had junior high volleyball for over a decade.
Eagles will take over at the 38-yard line. They're up 40-0. If you're just joining us now, welcome. Thank you, Eagle Ambassadors, for providing the YouTube channel. And we had mentioned a little bit in the past when we went to the half that there might be some changes made. And first series for the Eagles, familiar last name, but Jordan Jones will be taking over the reins at quarterback for the Eagles to start the second half for tonight. Eagles out of the gun.
This is a good opportunity for young kids to get some action, live action on the field.
Nice handoff right up the middle. Hunter Hockenberry going. Sidesteps 2 men, gets inside the 35, and they'll pull him down at about the 34-yard line. Back to the program in junior high, I noticed, you know, in years past, you know, other sports here at the school have thrived. You know, is there an opportunity for an elementary program to start that foundation further down to create that sense of, you know, history and tradition?
Yeah, I think that's the next step for us. You know, we talked about doing that 2 years ago.
Hockenberry with another one. He'll roll forward inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line.
But I felt like the growth wasn't the right thing. We were trying to do too many things at one
Sure.
time. And we want to try and solidify the middle school program before we can make that jump. And now that we've, you know, coming off of, you know, multiple years of very high success, I think it's a good time for us to start making that move. And maybe in the winter here, we're going to start seeing if we can get some elementary kids in.
Now, what are the chances that you get Dyke out there on the other side of the net and girls can just practice their kills?
You know, you talk about that, but State College ran a great thing this year. It was take your parents to practice night.
That would be awesome to do.
And it gives the parents a chance to appreciate what the girls go through and what they do. It was live streamed on Facebook, and I was able to watch a little bit of it. And I really would like an opportunity maybe to do that at some point, maybe not this year, but next year.
And let's face it, for this season, he still is a volleyball parent. There'll be some big tears this year shed at Cassidy Dyke when the favorite Dyke of all, Reagan, leaves Bald Eagle area. Handoff inside, about 2 yards on the play. I don't think there'll be a lot of throws for the rest of the night from the Eagles. Jones might get to throw one on a long third down, but this is roll clock and pile up yardage.
Absolutely. And you look at this, is that, you know, how long do you let certain kids play? You see Hockenberry still on the field here to start the second half. You want to get your kids that feel coming out of halftime of, you know, starting back up and getting after it. But how long do you leave your kids in?
Well, I think, you know, it's the first game of the year. You want them to get at least a little dinged. I mean, you know, we mentioned a little bit prior to, you know, preseason football in the NFL. You know, Romo gets hit once. There's a screen outside. Jones, nice pass. One move, one turn, in for the touchdown. Nice job. On a flare screen, and the Eagles get 46 on the board.
And you call it a pass, but that's just an extension of the running game out to the perimeter. He gets one-on-one and just beats him in space.
I think both, you know, Jones's mom and dad would call that a pass and not a handoff because it goes into the stats as a passing touchdown for their son. And I don't blame him. It's Porsche time left on the clock so far. You know why I said that? 9:44. There you go. All right, you're on your game now. New kicker. Here we go. 46 zip. Down. Up. Got it. It's good. Roberts with that one. That was a solid shot, and let's see if he gets to tee off the kickoff now. You've coached sports for a long time.
Yeah.
We're looking across the field here. It's 47-0. What do you say to those kids in that huddle to keep them going, keep them up?
On the other side, when I'm down
On the other side
47
of the
nothing,
field, when you're down
hey,
like
hey,
that.
you know, you kind of break the game down to smaller portions. Let's win the next 3 minutes. For them in football, hey, let's get a first down. Let's build something, because you want to leave the game with some sort of momentum going. When you're you're giving up touchdown after the break, after being down 40, you got to find mini victories for the kids to go. And at this point, the kids, they're not fooling the kids. They know they're getting their heads handed to them too. It's what can we do to make ourselves better for next week?
And to get out of here with as little injuries as possible, since you're not deep to begin with.
Right, but then again, how many kids can you put on the bench when you only have 5 or 6 on the bench
That's
to begin
right.
with?
There'll be some gut check time for some guys here tonight because they are playing thin. Nice night for the Eagles. You know, now one thing, and just look at me while you're doing the camera here, yes or no, this would have been a normal scrimmage night, right?
Yes.
Okay, so another change. That was a topic of discussion I listened to on sports radio earlier today about how schools have opted for another game as opposed to another.
Another game. It's if you wanted to keep 10, you had to play tonight.
Gotcha. Okay, this is week 1, so you get your 10. Right. Kickoff 20-25. Steps outside 30, down across the 35-yard line. And nice field position for St. Joe's to start. That is Chirlison.
I'm sure you got it right.
I was afraid of that one.
You know, he couldn't play the line. No. He's got to run everything back. And I was trying to cheat, waiting for Lester to say it first, but I didn't hear him because I got both headphones on now. 9:14 left to go. Eagles in control, and they go on the road next week. Not out of the gun. They're going to go under center now. This will be interesting. Straight handoff up the middle. Off tackle run. Got about 3 and then bounce back. The defenses look strong all night. It's not just the fact that they're pitching a shutout right now. That line is getting a surge, and they've been doing that from the first play of the game.
Yeah, you can see on every play, it seems like that the line of scrimmage moves back a yard or two. And, it's tough running offense when the defensive line's penetrating that much.
Well, I think in years past we've been on the other side of that, and it's these kids have played together for a long time. They were. And there's a nice group out there this year. That sideline's looking pretty big in terms of guys in blue jerseys.
That was my biggest takeaway when I came here tonight was the amount of numbers that we had. I thought that was a nice change. A lot of times when you change coaching staffs, there's a nice play.
Nice play. It'll cause a loss on the play. I thought the Gordon Bushkill article today said 45 came out this year.
I think we're at 40. I thought we were at 46 right now, but to be honest with you,
46 kids compared to what we've had in the past. I mean, that's another extra dozen.
You're doing pretty good.
That's some depth, and you can actually make some adjustments, and you can experiment like they're going to do the rest of the night.
And also, you got to realize in practice when you have that kind of numbers, you can be a little more physical like that because you actually have kids who can keep up and play. As in the past, when you have 25 kids, you can't risk injury like you could in other times. So the lack of hitting and the lack of certain things that you need to get done doesn't happen.
Now they go back out of the gun with on a 3rd and 9. Eagles show blitz. Here they come. Passes away and incomplete. 2 guys came in on the blitz and did their job, and Christensen had to rush that pass. Brandon Robinson.
And that's another thing, our defense seems to be predicated on putting a lot of pressure on them, but when you start putting numbers up where the score is right now, when do you stop actually playing your defense, and then is that productive for your kids defensively to do something that you're not really scheming to do?
And quite frankly, if you're a second teamer and you're getting playing time now, you don't want to just hold back. I mean, you want to show what you can do, regardless of what's going on.
It's tough to impress the coaches when you're just trying to keep the clock running.
Right. So back deep, 2 guys for the Eagles. This punt will go off at about the 23. High snap. Can he get it away? He does. Nice job on that. Short punt. It's going to hit and roll and be stopped at about the 35-yard line where it's downed at the 35. So long field for the Eagles on their second possession of the second half. 6:19 left to go. Clock runs on the snap now and will continue until there's a timeout or an injury, correct?
Correct, running clock.
Okay. Good night for the Eagles to start off. And, just as a coach, when you get that first victory of the year and it's the first week, heads are a little bit higher, chests are a little bit bigger. They're starting school on a good note as opposed to a rough start.
Exactly, and I think it also helps, continue the momentum that started. When you bring a new staff in, there's always a lot of high hopes, and you got all these new ideas. And for kids to come out and have some success using some ideas, they buy in a heck of a lot more, and I think that'll help a lot in practice next week.
Just when we thought they would probably just run the ball, thank goodness Jones did hand off, but they had 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. It's more to spread the defense out.
I mean, that's our offense. We're 3-by-1 or 2-by-2 every play. So.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think they line up any other way.
That's your system. You run your system.
A little hard to run a goal line defense that way.
Yeah.
But I don't think Jesse's worried about getting down there for a 3rd and 1 from the 1. I think they're just going to press. 3 to the near side of the field, which is the wide side of the field now. 1 up top. Snap, handoff, up the middle, 50, 45, 40, 30. Still on his feet and tackled at about the 14-yard line. That's Derrick Henry with a huge run for the Eagles.
Another gaping hole up the middle.
And we have a man down again for St. Joe's.
Doug couldn't do both jobs
Blake
of holding
Murray.
the camera and moving and talking, but now he's not talking and still not moving the camera.
And ironically enough, it's normally me who points out his shortcomings. I'm glad you're here, Larry, to do this too.
I have my moments.
Yeah, Murray's down.
Who did run that, Robert?
That was Henry.
Henry.
Okay, that was number 31. Remember, we talked about that at the beginning of the game. 31, Derrick Henry.
The numbers matter, don't they?
Who ran it right up the middle. It does when you're wearing 31. And I got to mark it down here on my cheat sheet.
At least you could say his name.
Yes, I make it a point that if I don't know the kid's name from the home team, I ask quickly. Beisel, not Beisel.
Good job.
Thanks. I screwed that up at a Teen League game too, and I heard it from the fans right away. Beisel. Yeah, they only had me for 1 game this year.
But that's nice you did the 1 though.
Well, I missed it a little bit. And then, the sun changed and I wasn't under the pop-up anymore. And let's face it, the bald spot found the sun.
Why'd the ball move back there? Did we get a flag? Okay.
So the run counts, then they move the ball back, and it's first down from the 33. That penalty yardage goes against the rushing yardage, correct? Just nod.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Try it again. Is this an Andrew Dubbs sighting? It is not.
Roberts?
That was Blake Roberts.
That's the one
Tell you
takeaway
what,
here
there's some Hollywood names on this team this year. I'll tell you. Blake Roberts, Derrick Henry, Andrew Dubbs. Not quite.
You got to read this.
4:48 left to go. Clock running. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Send a man in motion. High snap. Jones fumbles it.
Oh, boy.
It's loose. Recovery. Flag down. Let's see what the flag is. Is it offsides or is it a false start? If it's a false start, first turnover of the game for the Eagles on a high snap. It is a motion penalty against the Eagles. I think St. Joe's will decline it, and they'll take the ball. And that is really the first huge mistake of the evening for the Eagles.
We've done a really good job of kind of, doing what we do well. But for St. Joe's, it's a little something maybe they can build off of.
Well, I would think now you got to tell your kids, look, our goal tonight, we're not going to get shut out. We're going to take our time, move down the field, put some points on the board. Yeah, I don't care.
I know you don't like giving up.
When I care about Penns Valley when they're here when we play them.
Well, score update.
Which
they
is
are
in 2
tied
weeks,
now,
right?
14-0 in the second half.
Who are they playing? We don't play them either. I don't care.
Catholic, yes.
Pulled you right in. Out of the eye, St. Joe's. 4:15 left to go. Fake. No call. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. That was almost bad. By who's wearing 49? Oh, Luke Josevic.
And you got the name right. That's always good to see.
Well, Again, go back to Teenerleg. I had that. So I made sure the Z was Z and not Suffolk. I would say all in all, Doug, you got a nice crowd on the final Friday night at Grange Fair for the home opener here.
I think another big takeaway is the new student section we have out there.
They're quiet now, but they were up and they were excited at the beginning, and it's nice to see that kind of enthusiasm generated.
Absolutely.
Out of the gun, handoff up the middle. Stormer spins, still on his feet.
Yeah. That was a real nice run.
The one thing that all of those coaches on the other side can take away from this, none of these kids on the other side have quit tonight at all. And they're still playing as hard as they did after the first one. And I think cramping up, that's Stormer who just had the ball.
Yeah. Another problem with numbers, especially on a hot, humid night on that turf. You know, it's always 10 to 15 degrees warmer on that turf when you're down there. And even though it's a little cooler here to now, it's still a good 85 degrees down there.
Well, you timed it just right when you came upstairs. We finally found a fan for up here. When I first got here before we were live on the air, thank you, Bald Eagle Area Ambassadors, for providing the YouTube channel. We needed that fan to get some breeze going up here. It was cooler than outside, but there was no air moving.
It's nice we were able to splurge the extra $5 to get the fan up here for
and
you.
You know, the great thing is with the last home game being the 14th of October, we will not freeze this year in Parkas like we had to last year for that game.
Although you might enjoy being the last home game October 14th, I'm not sure how much the staff will enjoy that.
I don't think they will, especially, well, you know, you got to go on the road to Bellefonte. Okay. And I saw the schedule. Where the last two games end up? Is it Jersey Shore and Bellefonte, the last two games of the year?
Yes.
Both road games.
Both road games.
So we go to Gravishland
Yeah.
and see what he tries to put on us this year after what he did to us last year. And then, of course, the Curtain Bowl battle, which is special to me, you know, because there's a certain senator and I like to go back and forth over BEA versus Bellefonte sporting events. 3rd and 3 from the 42-yard line. That back looked like he started a little bit quick.
Yeah.
Nice job to fight off. Did he get him in?
No.
I thought he had the toes in. That looked like a Canadian football play because it looked like, we talked about the Arena League earlier. Yeah, had to turn that knife.
I watched BC
about that start.
last night beat.
Yeah,
They
up there in the Great North.
Ottawa,
Oh yeah, you get those two together. The Lions, British Columbia, right?
That's right.
BC.
You're
Are
all
they the
over
Tigers?
CFL.
No, they're the Lions.
Are they?
BC Lions.
Yeah.
Is that where Huffnagel played when he left college at Penn State? Because he went to Canada.
He is the coach, I think. No,
Okay.
no, he retired. He's now the president. I know.
4th and 3, because you have no life. Short kick off the side of his foot. It's going to roll. Pick it up and go. He does.
Nice
Got an edge. Nice job. Speaking of Red Bull at halftime, if that camera shook, that's from the coaching staff. Nice play. What are they talking about now? Was it touched? Even if it touched it, if it was touched, it went forward. It's still okay.
Only the offense can pick it up.
Right.
Once again, St. Joe's is pinned back down. We're taking the ball on the plus side of the field. Minute 44 to go here, 47-0.
35-yard line. Let's see. Jones stays at quarterback. A lot of fresh jerseys out there. Although you can't really tell because they're not dirty because it's not grass.
Probably a lot of conversation about ball security, too.
Well, that was a high snap on the last one, but he didn't really go after it. Straight up the middle to Henry. Henry leans forward, spins, gets to about the 30-yard line. 5 yards.
That was Roberts.
This is an offensive dream here if you can go forward each and every time.
That was Roberts.
Roberts 34, not 31.
Yes.
39.
You're close.
Yeah, it's those crappy jerseys.
Look. I had eye surgery. It wasn't that good. I should have brought binoculars.
When they fly that guy in from Bolivia.
Well, you know, I have some insurance issues. That's all I want to say.
You don't have Obamacare?
I don't. I still have private health care. I don't think we want to go on that tangent tonight, do we?
Yeah, we're almost wrapped up the third quarter here.
Nice save.
Another
Nice
run up the
move right up
middle.
the middle. Still on his feet. Inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. That is number 39, Blake Roberts.
We got 40 seconds.
40
to go.
seconds left. Oh, no, Doug. We're still going to be able to get enough. Well, let's see. Yeah, they stopped it to set the chain, so.
He and me wants him to just.
First and goal for the Eagles at the 5.
And
Is there a chance we'll see Buha tonight at quarterback?
I would hope so, since they don't have a JV game. I mean, a couple weeks.
I mean, these kids got to get some reps in. They got to get some shots in. Stood up at the line is Roberts.
And then first time we saw a tight end in there since at least the Bills' second quarter.
You don't run a play. Don't run. This is when I stand up and going, don't run a play. Don't run a play. Let it run out.
Yeah.
They will let the clock run
we'll
out
move the
because there's
fourth
7
quarter.
seconds left in the quarter. Third quarter rolls to an end. Guys, it's okay. You can turn around and go back. You're not going to set it. So 47 to nothing. 7 points. One nice drive for the Eagles in that quarter and a turnover. But still solid. Crowd still fairly into it, although a little bit more subdued than they were in the first half. I think they're just happy that it's cooled off nicely.
It's a nice summer evening right now.
This is an interesting concept of having the first game of the year prior to school starting.
It's interesting if you have a really tough opponent at that because everything's so out of what you're used to doing. I mean, these kids have started for a couple of years. You have that routine where, you go to school, you get out for them, they have a team meal, they go through their pregame stuff, they get themselves ready. And now on days like this, I know me as a coach, I'm always concerned with kids not following what you usually do. Usually you get up at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock to go to school. These kids sleep until noon,
Right.
1 o'clock. How do they react?
Oh,
I know anytime we play on a Saturday, I'm always making sure, like, whether if we're playing a later contest, we're practicing at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. That way the kids are up and staying in that same routine because it's amazing how flat your team will be when they're outside of their usual rhythm.
well, we had that issue last year. We played on a holiday last year. There was a no school day. It was Act 80 day, I think, and the kids definitely, you could tell a difference in the kids. They were flat that day, and like you said, it's all about routine. It's all about repetition. When you're going through, your practices, there's got to be a certain number of drills that you do in your practices, but then there's also got to be some live action as well, right?
Yeah, I know for me, the volleyball is a very sloppy sport. Like, you can drill. If you drill all the time, all the kids really get good at doing is doing drills.
Right.
Well, the problem is there's not a coach hitting a ball at you going, all right, let's start play. So a lot of the stuff we do is live action. Now, I'll be honest, the first 40 minutes of my practice is identical every single day. And the kids do it. The kids run the first 40 minutes of practice. I go around and fix some stuff, talk to kids. A good way to contact with your kids. I think it's very important to talk to your kids every day. That way you have that connection. You're able to, they understand where you are
Right.
with them. Because you can get a feel of what happened to kids and how they're feeling or something's going on. You kind of get that vibe from them. But after that, we do a lot of live ball stuff just because that's the way the game is played.
Conditioning. A lot of people they watch a volleyball match on TV, like the Olympics, carried a lot of it,
Right.
and it's not all beach volleyball. That's a
indoor.
different
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
It's really a different sport.
It really
completely.
is. It's a different game.
Two-person versus the other. Right there
Yes,
for the white
like that,
balance.
exactly.
Okay. Well, that way people know that I actually do prep for the games. How much, physical you got to do? Kick was good. Touchdown, 53-0. Well, now we're counting on the kick to be good. Larry, I'm having fun with talking to you.
No, go right ahead.
What exactly do you do to get their wind levels up, their agility level up? And in a gym, when it gets intense, that heat increases as well. Is that an element in getting kids ready to get that heat acclimation?
The heat
thing?
acclimation,
Much like
yeah.
with football, but inside people don't think, oh, it's air conditioned, right? It'll be fine. Not on an intense match.
Yeah, no, you would be surprised. And that's the one aspect that we haven't handled really well You know, I was the head coach at Bellefonte for 6 years, and we used to have practice really early because there was no air in the gym before the new gym, and it would get to 90, 100 degrees, and, you know, and how do you push kids in that? So it really was counterproductive. So with having the air, I kind of enjoyed. In fact, we went in today and the air wasn't on.
Ooh.
I made a couple phone calls. We got the air back on because who wants to practice that? But as far as conditioning, you know, we don't run a ton. We run 30 feet at a time.
Okay.
Because that's how big the court is. I feel if we have to run more than that, we're not a very good team. So we just might as well go run track. You know.
If you're going into the stands to retrieve a ball, you're probably losing that point.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of ours is short bursts because the game is all start and stop. So, you know, can my kids run a mile fast? No. But if you want to go short, you know, short anaerobic things, they can do that really well because that's what we train. It's sort of like getting the bodybuilder and telling him to go out there and run a mile. He's not going to be very fast, but you put him on the bench press and he pounds weight all around that anyone can.
The extra point was good, 54-0. There was 7:47 left to go. Not 12 minutes on the clock, 8 minutes. They put 8 minutes up on the clock.
We got 7:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. Eli Meyer's
now
back in
being
the
Steve Miller, I would say it's a jet airliner, but you know, that's a different joke for a different day. Tackled inside the 30-yard line. So just over 7 left to go. Eagles out in front. Now you got to think, okay, we've done things well tonight. There's some positives. There's some things to coach up about things that weren't done exactly right. Now, let's be honest, you're looking at let's not get anybody hurt.
I think it's a great opportunity to get every kid on the field at some point because, you know, kids want to have that varsity experience. Even those kids are buried deep in your depth chart, you know, it's a good opportunity for them because mom and dad want to see them on the field.
Well, I mean, if you have 2 freshmen on your team and sophomores, now's the time to get them some live action time. And let's face it, I mean, TV's here. Why not try and get them on, you know, I mean, you can be a star on our channel, you know, but, you know, network, that plays big at 11 o'clock at night.
It's definitely time to get
Well,
kids in with possibly no JV game.
No, that's a big thing. No, with your JV team not being able to play the next 2 weeks because you don't have games on the schedule, you got to take this as an 8-minute quarter of JV football for
well, and it's a nice opportunity. I mean, you want to be able to take that first hit so that you're prepared the next time it happens. And better, you're up 54-0 and getting a shot as opposed to you're down by 6 and the next thing you know, the ball pops out or something like that. You know, live action is much better for anybody.
You know, this is one of those things where a lot of the people in the crowd, they're enjoying their time, they're talking to each other, not paying attention. But as a coach, it's a real opportunity for you, you know, to kind of see how your kids are going to react. You've seen them in practice for 2 weeks now, but how are they going to react in live situation when kids that you don't know what they're going to do go ahead and are flying off, and how are you going? You know, there's some kids have opportunity to gain foothold, maybe finding some time later in the year.
First time out called of the half. I mean, I think right now St. Joe's just wants to let's get the ball moving up the field. Let's get this clock over with and get home and regroup for next week.
Absolutely. You know, let's get on the bus and let's not get anybody hurt at this point.
Tight formation. They'll go out of the eye with one wide receiver to the far side of the field. Give it to the tailback. Falls forward to about the line of scrimmage and not much more than that. 7 minutes left to go before they snap the next ball. Eagles will be on the road next week. We'll be back on the internet in 2 weeks, correct? And we'll be, the Rams are here?
Ben's Valley, yep.
The Rams will be here, and apparently they're winning right now, or it's close. There you go. Now they're down 21-14. But both teams will come in here. We could be favored coming into that game.
Right. It'll be a good game. They're big. Our speed might be, you know, something because they're really big on the line.
Look at those linebackers creeping forward. Give it to the fullback, and he'll fall forward and get about another yard and a half. So we go on the road to Phillipsburg next week. Should be a game we should win.
A winnable game, most definitely.
You know.
Winnable game, yes.
And then
play well,
Penns Valley the next week. You're saying there's a strong possibility with 3-0 after the first 3 weeks.
Winnable. Yeah, I'm saying there's a chance we could be 3-0. Yes.
they'll be in both games.
Absolutely.
It's not like we're going to go somewhere as lambs to the slaughter.
No.
Okay.
And it should, and it won't. I don't expect it to be this big of a. Like, I'm not saying. I expect it to be good games.
Right.
Equally
Right.
competitive.
You know, the team that shows up and plays well will win the game. You know, they're competitively they're about the same level.
Third down for St. Joe's.
We're really creeping up. We got 8 guys.
Oh,
in the
they
box.
are. If he goes play action, there's a shot.
It's up to you.
Quick hitter up the middle. He's going to get a first down.
I can take you.
Nice job.
That's big for St. Joe's to keep the clock rolling for
I
him.
know where you Next week I can drop you off on the way home from Phillipsburg.
Stormer back in after he had a cramp. Hydrated up and back out there.
I mean, I know. Can you hear me when I talk?
Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
can
I was
hear
going
you.
to say that. You know,
And the crowds at
St.
home
Joe's
are
did us
thrilled
a
they
favor
can't.
playing us. So as the AD, I can
Well,
say
Right.
next year I expect a better game out of them because those kids are going to be a year older.
This is going to sound funny. Where do they play their home games?
Memorial Field.
Oh, they do. You get to use
Okay.
Memorial Field.
Yes, they play Memorial.
Flag.
Get a little closer. What's that? Oh, okay. No, but I just wanted to say that if anybody from
Delay
St.
a game?
Joe's is listening, they are taking a beating, but they're going to get better.
Well, I mean,
Hopefully, they can get some more kids out.
let's do a count here. You got 20 kids max across the field. Yeah, unless you're like an elite team going in,
Well,
barnstorming team
Larry
coming
will
in
tell
and
you,
like
I mean,
thrashing
they're
everybody.
Kind of torn. It's not that you don't want to see them do well, but they've made no bones about how
Well, I mean, that,
athletics is a big deal. I'm just
Of course.
surprised they don't have more kids out.
Yeah.
but again, it's a matter of time, and that was one of the things. Handoff up the middle.
Now with
Got
them,
about half of that penalty
with
back.
with them being a single A team, now here's my question for you. PIAA allows everybody doesn't have level. You see a lot of these single A teams that are, most of the PIAA championships are non-public schools.
Yeah.
There's an inherent advantage to having that if you quote unquote recruit well. Because if you think about it, you're a single A school, but you're pulling from 5, 6, 7 school districts. You could be a really difficult out.
Well, I mean, we talked about it at the beginning of the start of this. The article in the paper to talk about their season preview about St. Joseph's, about their coaching staff.
Yeah.
That's some quality coaches over there on that sideline. What an opportunity for a kid to say, I played for a guy who won a state title.
Right.
That's
You
true.
know, I mean, there's your drawing point. And let's not forget, because of the way this diocese is set up, don't think kids from Mifflin County don't want to come over the mountain to play over here, as opposed to that super school that the Huskies are over there in Mifflin County. I mean,
they're in a pretty tough division, aren't they, Mifflin County?
Mifflin
yeah, they're
County's a
in
mid-pen
they're
team.
in mid-pen, so
And
they're
that's-
they're driving to Harrisburg
Right.
3 times, and then they got to play State College and everything else
Yep,
along those
absolutely.
lines. So, and to play for a guy who knows what he's doing, and I mean, let's face it, you're going to play if you go to St. Joe's.
That's the selling point initially.
Right. You're going to play, and you'll earn more time as you go. Nice job there by Stormer. One thing about it, they're not quitting. 3:16 left to go. He still fought to fall forward to try and get that first down, and I think they're going to give it to him.
They're going to give it to him.
The size of the line has shifted a bit for Bald Eagle. That big group that started this game, I think they now all have their helmets off and are watching.
Yeah, and he, as Dale was saying too, they've gotten. I've tried to follow. I think every kid hopefully has been in a game. I mean, if they haven't, I'm sure there's a reason why. But you're right. They got their JVs in now for sure.
3 minutes left to go by the time this ball snapped. And the other thing that you can look at for St. Joe's, they seem to move better. Here's Stormer again. Got 4.5 yards that time. They're running better with a tight formation out of the eye than they are when they went wide. That might be something for them to think about as they go forward the rest of the year.
You know what it looks like? It looks like Tyrone football.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be.
They're running the same 3 or 4 plays over and over and over. Yeah.
Here we come. Stop
Well-
us, don't stop us.
Well, I watched Remember the Titans.
It's like, what's he say? It's like
Coach, that
Novocaine.
playbook's not too big.
What's he say though? It's like Novocaine. I can't remember. I'm sorry, but hey, speaking of, did I send you a picture of what Betsy Gettick's niece found in her cupboard when she was moving down there? A signed autograph picture of the TC Williams championship team.
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's finally some penetration to get him in the backfield.
That was the first play outside of a penalty where they had negative yardage on this series. And they're at the 48-yard line, 47-yard line.
I think the last time Bald Eagle beat someone 54-0 was 1980. Bald Eagle at Bellefonte.
Oh, yes.
Mike Kresovich ran wild.
That's back when Mike could run.
And it poured.
Because he was a young fellow then.
I was
Back
there
in those
with my
days.
grandfather, and it just poured.
We didn't have the Curtain Bowl in 80, though. It came after that.
The Curtain Bowl started in like 85, 86.
Yeah, it was after I was gone.
Yeah, it was right after you guys.
Back to pass. Steps, throws, got him open, but he underthrew him. Oh. That's pass interference in the NFL.
3rd and 7, and now they got one-on-one on the outside. The first ball they've thrown.
That was a face shield, but that's okay. I'll take it. Fourth down.
The delay tactic. They still haven't set for 25 seconds, which, give them credit, they're trying to be courteous.
Yep.
Well, you know, if the worst thing that comes out of this tonight are some cramps because of the heat, that's a positive for both sides. Yep. And, you know, when it came to gut check time for St. Joe's, they didn't quit. And that's something you got to respect a great deal.
Well, it's good to get some stuff on tape and then get an idea of what you got to clean up. And, you know, I think we'll look at the kicking game too as well and see if we can figure something out.
Handoff, it'll be short.
Here's the big question of the night. Did Christian Hackenberg get to play for the Jets tonight?
You know, I think there's a strong chance that Jerry might be regretting not taking him.
What's that?
I think there's a chance Jerry's going to be sorry he didn't take him.
I don't know. That Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott has done a lot. Yeah.
He doesn't surprise me at all. I think they got a diamond in the rough.
Well, I'm not doubting his ability on the field.
He's got some ability off the field.
I worry about everything else because, you know, my beloved team has had some issues with character.
True.
Not as many as people blame us for. You know, there's some other teams, Pittsburgh Steelers, that have had more players recently that are in a lot of trouble. But, you know, Jerry would be your classic enabler. Timeout called?
Timeout with 24 seconds to go.
One more snap of the ball, and they call timeout. All right. Let me just check this sheet here because I think there's a name that we're going to be able to call when they go back out there in the field. Yes, indeed. Okay, what are we doing, guys?
Victory formation.
That's his victory formation out of spread.
And is that Buha under center?
Drew Buha, yep.
We have a Drew Buha sighting. How many guys are we going to have on the field? That's it. We do not want a penalty on victory. I mean, it does help when the quarterback kneels down and there's 7 guys protecting him.
They don't even really need to snap it, I guess.
He doesn't need to, but he should. Buha. 3 steps back, drops, and that will finish off the night. What a way to start the Nagel era here at Bald Eagle area with the Eagles winning big 54-0 over St. Joe's. Larry, thanks for joining us for the second half. Love to have you. Please come back again. Anytime you don't want to have Dyke on the air, we'll do that.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bald Eagle area ambassadors. Thank you, Doug Dyke, as much as I have to say it. Me too, Steve Miller. Thank you all. Good night.